In this video, we'd like to demonstrate how you can configure processing of image files. Image processing can be applied to pictures when they're downloaded or when they're processed in a workflow using one of FotoWeb's actions. The processing options are set in a so-called processing profile, and it lets you set image size, color space, sharpening options, and a lot more. It's also possible to have FotoWeb deliver the file to an external application that supports watched folders, and then after it's been processed there, FotoWeb picks the file up and passes it on into the workflow. We'll have a look at all those details in a second. So let's just see how you set up a basic processing profile. For demonstration, I'll create one that adds a watermark to the processed file. I'll head into the FotoWeb site configuration and go to the Workflows tab, and there's a node here called Processing Profiles, as you'll see. You can see there are some profiles here already that ship with the installer, but let's just add a new one from the beginning. We'll first give it a name and then choose the type of processing to apply. We head to the Watermark tab, where we can choose a watermark from the list, or you can import a custom watermark from a folder on the server. I'll place it in the center of the image and scale it to the image size. Unauthorized use of the picture should be pretty difficult with a big logo embossed on it. And that's all it takes to create a processing profile. So for now, let's store it and then choose when it should be applied. As I said at the outset, these profiles can be applied to downloaded images and to workflows. Let's just first see how to apply to downloads. That means we need to assign it to an archive that users can download pictures from. I open up an archive's properties page and choose the Export tab. And in the download section here, we can set how files that are downloaded from the archive should be handled. By default, you can see that files are delivered unmodified. But now we choose to apply a processing profile, and then we choose the profile that we made. So let's see how that works when a user downloads a file. The processing is completely transparent. The user receives the file as expected, and if we open it, you can see that the watermark has been applied in the background. Maybe you noticed there was another option in the archive properties, where users get to select a processing profile when downloading. The way that works is that you create a processing profile set or collection, where you choose which profiles to include in each set. When the user downloads a file or several files, he gets to choose which profile should be applied. And when downloading several pictures, it's possible to apply individual processing to each individual file. I also said it's possible to apply this type of processing in a workflow using an action. On the properties page of each action, you can choose a profile to apply when transferring a copy of the file to a destination. That's found on the Asset Transfer tab, where at the bottom you find an option to apply processing based on a processing profile that you made. That too is completely transparent to the requesting user. Now, all you've seen so far is the application of a watermark, but let's briefly look at some of the other possibilities of a processing profile. You can see there's a choice of file format and color space. If you have an archive of high-resolution TIFF or RAW files, you can, for example, convert the downloaded copy to JPEG for faster downloads. There's also image resizing and resampling. There's watermarking, as we've demonstrated. There's an unsharp mask filter. And finally, there's external processing, which allows FotoWeb to deliver a file to any third-party system that supports watched folders, so that that system can pick the file up, process it, and then hand it back to FotoWeb for further processing.